Welcome back to my writer's room, everyone. I am Matt Wallace, YouTube's resident angry writer, and thank you for taking a few minutes of your day to come hang out with me here in my angry little writerly sanctum. I always appreciate it. I really do. Me not being naked on this, the first vlog of 2018, is brought to you by our t-shirt of the day, which is my truly sick retro Conan mask shirt, seriously, how badass is that? I got this out of the December Lucha Loot deluxe booty chest from Masked Republic. That was the last unboxing I did of 2017 over my wrestling channel, Matt F. Wallace. Go check that out. Anyway, Happy New Year! Feliz Años Nuevos! We've made it. It is December 2nd, 2018. And if you're wondering why the 8 looks a little funky there, it's because I wrote 2017. Because I'm used to it. But yeah, that's, you got Hamshackle Pig. He's walked out his front door. There's a winding road in front of him, and he's getting ready to set off down the path to new journeys, new experiences, new adventures for Hamshackle. And not just because it's the beginning of the year, because that's going to be what we're talking about today. You might have noticed I took yesterday off vlogging. I gave myself New Year's Day to kind of chill out. My wife and I needed a day kind of to ourselves. The holidays were really hectic. We hosted our whole family, both of our families, if you followed the vlog along, the Advent vlog, I talked about that. But yeah, we needed a day to just kind of chill and just be, and like we went and saw a movie and, you know, got a giant Subway sandwich and just sat in the house in our underwear eating it happily, enjoying the silence. But one of the reasons we wanted to take yesterday to ourselves was because today is actually a really big day for me. I wasn't able to announce it on the vlog on Friday, but I did announce it on Twitter and Facebook on Friday. I have accepted a new full-time writing job, which is, you know, that's a big deal. And again, if you follow along with the vlog, you know that for most of 2017, that was one of my focuses. I was looking for a new full-time writing gig to supplement everything else I'm doing with my writing because, you know, adulting and new responsibilities and a new house and a new wife and planning a new family. So that was a big deal to me. The frame looks a little crooked and it's bothering me. My very specific kind of OCD. But yeah, so that's the big news. Right at the close of the year, I managed to sneak that big ticket item in under the wire, and I can still scarcely believe it myself. But I have accepted a position as a content strategist and brand storyteller for a media company based in Orange County. Many people of you may ask and have asked, Matt, what the hell does any of that crap mean? It's basically just a fancy way of saying that I will be writing every day. I will be working for a very cool company made up of very cool, creative, innovative people who work with a lot of very cool, innovative brands that do a lot of different things. And I will be helping those brands define themselves, whether it's on social media, whether it's on their website, whether it's via you know, video content on the web. I will be helping them define their brand in a bunch of different ways in a bunch of different mediums by storytelling, writing, and doing what I do. And it's a really, you know, this job hunt that I've been on was very long and very frustrating, and I dealt with a lot of almosts and a lot of rejection, a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of compromise. But at the end of it, I found this gig that really looks to be kind of like the dream gig. It really ticked all the boxes for what I was looking for in a full-time writing position. And it's an immense opportunity for me professionally and for my family and for all this new stuff that's going on. And I'm really, really jazzed about it. And today is actually my first day. I'm shooting this vlog very early in the morning. I got up at 7 o'clock, which is, I know many of you do it every day and do it much earlier than that, a lot of you, but that's early for me, having been freelance for many years before this. And I'm getting this shot out, and then I'm calling in for the day and getting going. And this January 2nd is my first day, first official day as content strategist and brand storyteller for this awesome media company that I'm working for. And I'm really psyched about it. I'm going to get briefed, I'm going to get to work, and I'm going to start writing. So that's great. And thank you to everybody who's offered congratulations. Everybody who was very supportive this year here on the new vlog, in the comments, on my Twitter, on Facebook, whatever it was, as I talked about my trials and tribulations on this big job hunt. Just everyone who offered support and encouragement. The members of Team Dong-won, my agent, and his clients, the Slack group that we're in, I complained a lot there and vented a lot and said a lot of stuff I couldn't say in public, and all of those writers and my agent were very supportive of that. Speaking of my agent and of writing books, one of the most common questions I got over the weekend, past, congratulations, again, everybody was great. One of the most common questions I got was, how will this affect my fiction? How will this affect my creative writing outputs? Some people even slightly worried. They thought this somehow signaled that I was letting go of writing novels or writing screenplays or writing any of this stuff I'm doing. And that's the opposite is absolutely the truth. But it gives me an opportunity to talk about something that I think is a very important topic for everyone out there who's aspiring to be a working writer and a full-time working writer, which is this myth, and it is a total myth, that having a full-time day job is somehow detrimental to you as an aspiring writer of novels. And this applies to all freelance creators, honestly, whether you want to create comics, filmmakers, music, whatever it is, whatever kind of content you aspire to create professionally. The idea that having a full-time day job is detrimental to that is a complete and utter myth, and it's a damaging myth, especially in the times that we live in the economy that we live in, and the demands of that economy on most people out there. And I see it perpetuated all the time. And you'll see other writers and other industry professionals talk about it on like Twitter, about, don't quit your day job, or the reasons for that. And it's absolutely the truth. I didn't look for this job to get away from all the other writing that I do. I was looking for this job to help me elevate and accelerate, if anything, all of the other writing that I do. The main problem with, let's start at the beginning here. So a lot of people might have started out asking, Matt, why did you even need to go find a day job? I see you talking about your books online all the time. Because people who aren't in the industry or don't understand writers, it's this very strange thing of they either seem to assume that you have all the money in the world if you write books, or they assume you have no money if you write books and are basically unemployed, which, if you're my wife's family, you tend to fall into this category over here. That's not true. They're lovely, supportive people, but, they don't really understand, like most people in the industry. But yeah, it's never at the middle ground. No one ever assumes that you just make a moderate amount of money from writing. It's so strange. It's either they assume you're rich like J.K. Rowling, or they assume that novelist is just another word for unemployed. It's very strange. The truth most often falls somewhere in the middle of that spectrum. And I'm like, I'm not in the middle of the spectrum. I'm like somewhere in the middle, between the middle and this thing over here, which is having no money. My books make money. They just don't make enough money, not nearly enough money for the things that I'm trying to do now. I got married, and my wife and I are trying to step it up in life, and we want certain things that my income as a fiction writer is not going to provide us right now. And the thing is, I've been a freelance writer the entire time I've been out here back here in LA, the last 7-8 years almost. And there were, and all that time, I was okay with that for most of those years. Some years were, terrible. Some years I'd make 14 grand, and some years I'd make between 20 and 30 grand. And some years, you do better, but most years were really lean. But I was okay with that. I was okay with that level of subsistence at the time. I was more in the side of my 20s, and I had a roommate. We had a shitty apartment in the Valley, and then we had a better apartment in the Valley. And even in the times when we barely just scraped by, I was okay with that because it was me on my own with my goals, working towards those goals, and I was okay with subsisting at that level as a writer and not having supplemental income on top of that and just focusing on the writing. Where I find myself at now is a much different situation. Again, got married this year, got a new home, and looking towards the future, a lot of things are very essential for my wife and I. We want to start putting way more away for retirement, start planning an early retirement. We want to continue to fix up the home that we bought and make it the place that we want it to be. We would like to be able to travel occasionally and take a trip somewhere that, you know, is outside of driving distance and isn't a convention of some kind. And, you know, and I've talked about this in the vlog before, you know, we're talking about possibly having children. If and when that happens, I want my wife to be able to take as much time off of her job as she needs to recover from that process without having to worry about things. That's a huge one for me. And writing the books that I write and the other projects that I was working on and whatever freelance I could get, it was not going to meet any of those criteria in and of itself right now. And I'll get to the right now part in a second. So I had to examine, where am I at right now? Where can I get to immediately? Not 5 years down the line, not 2 or 3 years down the line, right now. What can I do? What skills do I possess? What opportunities do I have? And I have a background in marketing writing. So this year I decided I was going to step up production of all of my creative projects and all my freelance projects, but I was also going to search for a full-time writing job to supplement all of that until I could get it to a level where I didn't need supplementing. That was basically the plan. And landing this job was a huge part of achieving that. And I'm really happy with how this last year went in setting all of those things up. Immensely, extremely happy with it and relieved. But again, getting this job does not take away from any of that other stuff. Getting this job was one part of an overarching plan I have for my writing career. I see it all as one thing. And that includes, again, stepping up all the other things I did. The other thing I did this year while I was searching for that job was I hunkered down and I finished the giant epic fantasy novel I've been working on forever. I finished it, I got it done, I got it ready to go out. I am almost finished with the middle grade book I've been talking about on the vlog. That will be ready to go out in February if I have to, you know, break my back to do it, but I'm close on that one. I've got a great pitch for a new novella series that I'm very excited about that we're going to be shopping around, and those are the 3 projects I'm starting out the year with on the fiction writing side of things. Got a bunch of other stuff cooking on the screenwriting side of things that I'm not going to get into right now. But that's the thing. The other part of that plan in searching for the job was front-loading 2018 with as many projects as possible to not only generate revenue and income for my family, but to step up that side of my career to another level, because that's exactly what I'm choosing to do. What having this job enables me to do now is have a stable, secure base so I can focus on the premium storytelling projects that I want to focus on, that I really think will take me to the next level of my writing career, on that side of my writing career. You know, it gives me this foundation. I don't have to worry about scrabbling for freelance projects, which at the beginning of this year ended up being a huge time waster. You know, I was chasing you know, work for hire novel writing projects that I didn't end up getting, and a lot of other stuff. This allows me not to have to do that. I don't have to worry about those little things. You know, I've got this stable foundation that I can start building the rest of my career on. That's what having a supplemental income or a full-time day job brings you as a writer and as a content creator. It is a good thing. And people who tell you the only way to do this thing that we do is to quit your full-time job and focus on freelance content creating full-time, I'm not saying it never works or it's never the right thing to do or it's never led to success, but I will say confidently, 9 times out of 10, if not more, it's the wrong thing to do. It's the wrong, unnecessary thing to do that actually ends up making what you're trying to do harder because it puts more pressure on you. And when you have to produce and when you have to deliver and you have to take care of yourself, if you don't have someone else that's picking up the slack for you financially, especially, you put yourself in an extremely precarious situation. And most people are not, and the thing is, I've done this, I'm speaking from experience, an extremely precarious situation, most people are not ready for the level of stress that brings. And it really puts a crimp in any kind of creative project you're trying to do, because you have to do that and make rent, and those two things are not always going to vibe, especially when you set out at the beginning. So yeah, it's just that's a major misconception, and one thing I wanted to talk about here today is having the day gig is the exact opposite of putting up a white flag as far as your novel writing or content creating goes. And I am not slowing down, I am speeding up, and this is part of that process. My goal is absolutely to get to a point, whether it's as a novel writer, or as a television writer, or as an online content creator, or all of those things, where that provides for my family on a level that I am comfortable with, and I don't need to have the supplemental job. That is my end game, but this is what is going to get me there. And I'm very excited about how it's coming together. I'm finally seeing all the kind of jigsaw pieces mashed together, and I'm hyped for 2018 in a way that I haven't been hyped for a year in a very long time, because of this big centerpiece that I found, or I guess they'd be more of the corners. I'm not going to worry about this metaphor. Anyway, so that's what's going on. That's the big news, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. It's okay, man. And here's the thing. I wanted to have a full-time writing job. That was very important to me. It's been important to me since I moved to LA that I make my living as a writer, whichever way I do it. And that's what this is. This is a full-time writing job. It's not a staff job on a television series. It's not writing novels, but it is a writing job. I'm going to be writing every single day, and I will be writing creatively. That was important to me. It's also the only marketable skill that I have, man. So I really had no choice in that, even though it was a choice that I consciously made. I had no choice in it really, because it's the only thing I know how to do well. It's absolutely okay if your day job has nothing to do with writing, as the other point that I wanted to make. However you make ends meet, however you support yourself and the people you love, whether those people are pets, it's okay. It gives you the foundation to build the rest of your writing career. And I really hope you believe me on that, and I really hope you won't listen to people who tell you that you need to give up the day gig to be like serious, to be a real writer or a real content creator, because it's crap. It's total crap. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Thank you to everybody who congratulated me and offered support once again. I gotta close this thing because I gotta go to work, man. How trippy is that to say? I've not had to say that. I mean, I've worked on stuff, but I actually have to go to a job that I do every day full time, where I report in and I have a salary and weird stuff like that. So yeah, I'll hit you back tomorrow. I'll let you know how the first day went. I'll keep you apprised of everything else I'm doing. As I said, I'm not slowing down and speeding up. That includes this vlog. The vlog will continue. The channel will continue. My online content will continue, and it's only gonna get better. Brainstorming a bunch of cool stuff with Nikki for this year for the channel. I got some challenges in mind for you folks. It's gonna be a good year on every front. I am determined to make that happen. Hope you're determined to do it too. Let's do it together. Team Hamshackle 2018. You don't have to put that in the hashtag. It's still just hashtag Team Hamshackle. I'm grateful to have you folks following along. Have a great week. Have a great new year. I am Matt Wallace, and I'll see you tomorrow.